Every day, when the final bell rings, students flood the parking lot. Whether they're hopping on a bus or starting up a car, they have the shared goal of going home. But this isn't the case for everyone. Some students stay for rehearsal for the upcoming theater production, or they stay to practice their sport. Why not just go home, some may ask, because it brings them joy. Staying involved doesn't necessarily require students to stay after school. Some clubs and organizations can function within school hours. The use of free periods are utilized for planning and holding activities. For some, spending free time at school may seem odd, but the payoff of happiness is all the reason to do so. This leads back to the question, does school involvement have a link to increased happiness? The academic journal Leisure Research has an article titled After-School Time Use of Urban Adolescents Effects on Achievement, Problem Behaviors, and Happiness. The article focused on a study which identified the students in groups. The high social sport cluster members were more likely to report higher levels of happiness. The high social part of the group relates to students who are involved in other ways at school, not just regarding sports. Their data shows this involvement does lean towards an increase in happiness. This isn't the only article to come to this position on the topic. The Journal of Adolescent Health has an article titled The Role of School and Community Involvement in the Psychosocial Health Outcomes of Black and Latinx LGBTQ Youth. Despite the broadness of the study, it still shows off how important school involvement can really be. Can studies truly affect the opinion of students? Not exactly. That's why an interview was held with two students at Fremont High School. They have contrasting involvement, which helps bring some insight to the topic.
Hi, I'm Nora Butler. I would say I'm very involved. Just this year, I've been president of FCCLA. I mean, that's been a big time commitment, but even through the years, I've been an officer of HOSA, I've been an officer for DECA and FBLA, been very involved with going to state and region competitions. I've even gone to nationals before for different competitions. Just been very involved to do as much as possible with Fremont and its clubs. I would say, kind of blank, last year I had a lot of different things going on, like with starting a job and different classes, so I wasn't as involved in my clubs, and I would say that last year was kind of not a low point because I still did a lot of, other things, but I think that I was less satisfied with kind of like school as a whole, and kind of like I was a little bit less happier because I wasn't as involved. Being super involved in SCCLA and all the things that come with that has brought me a lot of joy, and it's introduced me to a lot of more people, and I think it's definitely made high school more enjoyable for me. Yeah, I absolutely would. I think that getting involved is the best way to help yourself, make friends or meet new people that you wouldn't normally be friends with. And I think that it's important to be involved so that you just feel a sense of connection with the people you're around. And it kind of helps you just feel better as a person as a whole when you feel connected.
I am part of handbell choir, but other than that, I don't really do much at the school. I don't like the after school stuff as much as in school stuff. Like I don't like having to do the concerts and that kind of thing, Last year I was involved in theater, and it made me happier because I was able to spend more time with my friends and like get out and do stuff, interact with people. Whereas this year I'm not as involved in after school activities, and so I don't see my friends as often, which has made me sad on occasion. I definitely think it's a great way to make friends, and so that's like definitely for sophomores and juniors, it's good to like get into different activities, meet new people, figure out what makes you happy.
Despite what the data and the students say, there are still some naysayers on the benefits of school involvement. They lack evidence to support that claim, whereas there's increasing amounts of evidence to prove that point wrong. This is apparent in another academic journal called the Journal of Advances in Humanities Research. The journal has an article titled Exploring the Nexus of Students' Happiness at School, the Moderating Effect of Student Engagement. Higher levels of student engagement were found to enhance the impact of a supportive school environment, personal well-being, and active participation in educational activities, leading to increased student happiness. Additionally, there have been studies that show that a lack of involvement can lead to negative outcomes such as bullying. The article titled "The Association of School Connectedness and Bullying Involvement with Multiple Screen Time Behaviors Among Youth in 2 Canadian Provinces" a compass. Through a study, it explores the idea that lack of school involvement and increased screen time have a correlation to bullying. With all the evidence these studies and interviews have to offer, they all really show the importance that school involvement has on happiness. School involvement may not be something most students think of when they think of what affects their happiness, yet it manages to be a surprisingly significant factor. School involvement really does have a link to increased happiness.